Hi, everyone. Welcome to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy, and today we're going to look at some French Foreign Legion troops in 25 millimeter scale. They're roughly about an inch tall. Um, I guess that would correspond with 172 or 176. I'm not sure exactly, but they're about an inch tall. And these would work really well with your Airfix figure. So if you want to augment your Airfix French Foreign Legion troops, you can get a hold of these. Now, these were originally manufactured by Marx, or rather, I should say, sculpted by Marx. And Classic Toy Soldiers created molds for these 25 millimeter figures based on those original Captain Gallant figures. You can see here there's some figures missing, however. There should have been 11 poses, and we only have 9 poses here. And the ones missing are a mounted figure and also one that's prone in a firing position. Now, the original Marx Captain Gallant playset came with 2 firing poses, as you see here. And why they did this, I'm not sure. You get a whole bunch of guys on guard duty, as you can see here, and only 2 firing poses, only 4 marching poses. So if you're going to do the French Foreign Legion, I would at least enhance this group and cut back a little bit on these guys on guard duty. This is a good pose here. It's probably a Legionnaire chef or NCO. Now, these figures were originally 60 millimeter, and they were released in 1956 in the Marx Captain Gallant playset. The Captain Gallant French Foreign Legion TV show was on the air from 1955 to when your host Iggy was an infant. It was canceled in 1957. I had nothing to do with the cancellation, by the way. I was still filling my diapers. In fact, it's probably what I'm doing right now. Dun-dun-dun.
Iggy, stick to the facts. Don't bother these people with your stupid ideas and opinions.
Sorry about that. Yay. Thank you for that. So there's 2 character figures included in the set. There's one of Buster Crabbe's son, who was actually in the TV show with him. And this is Cuffy Crabbe, or Cullen was his actual name, but on the TV show, I think they call him Cuffy. And this one here is Buster Crabbe, I hope. It doesn't look like a captain in the French Foreign Legion because he's running with a rifle, but you can see he does have a pistol on his belt there. And I was on Toy Soldier HQ, which is a wonderful website. You can buy things there, and also whoever runs that website is like an expert on Toy Soldier. I mean, he's got so much information there, even about figures I've never heard of. Now, I do need to. You guys already know this, but I'm not a professional toy collector. What I'm doing with these videos is I'm sharing with you my collection, but I'm not an expert on anything. So I urge you to go to other sources to find out more information if you're interested. What I'm doing here is just showing you what I've got and hoping that you enjoy it as much as I do. I enjoy sharing it with you. I hope I'm not coming across as a show off. That's not my ambition for this video. Anyway, we have only 2 guys on guard like this. So the assortment that you get from Classic Toy Soldier is pretty weird. Now this represents two sets. You get 25 figures in a set, and it comes packaged in this very colorful uh, box with a tremendous amount of artwork that looks just like this. This is what it came in. I'm not kidding. It was $9.95, and this is what you're going to get. I'll show you a picture of an Airfix box in just a moment so you can compare the two. The TV show was actually filmed in Morocco at like 4 or 5 different Legionnaire posts, and they used actual Legionnaires as extras. Being said, it doesn't look like it was filmed in Morocco. I mean, you could have filmed it in California out in the desert. Uh, I never got the feeling like they were in Morocco. It looks like they're on a TV set. So I don't feel like they utilized their on site locations. I don't know. It's kind of disappointing. Uh, they did have trouble while they were in Morocco and had to move production to Italy. So that could be why it became more of a studio setting. I don't know. The program starred Buster Crabbe as Captain Gallant. Have you guys ever seen like Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers, those serials from the 1930s? That was Buster Crabbe. Buster Crabbe was a Olympic swimmer. He won the bronze medal for freestyle in 1928, and then again he won the gold medal in 1932. For freestyle again. 400, I don't know what that means. I'm not a swimmer, so I couldn't tell you what that means. But Buster Crabbe was incredibly handsome guy. In fact, if you were going to make a mask of a handsome superhero, you would probably come up with something that looked like Buster Crabbe. In some ways, you look at his picture and he doesn't look like a real person because he's too perfect. Does that make sense? Um, I'm not sure how to explain it. It just doesn't look like he doesn't look like a real person. He's too handsome. At any rate, also he has a very good physique. And maybe Iggy is jealous because Iggy looks like a real person. Uh, well, maybe a fictional figure by the name of Santa Claus. So maybe I'm just jealous. Let's see, what else can we talk about here? These would be a great way to augment your Airfix collection. Like I said, the only thing that I find objectionable about the set, I like what they did. They're casted in a what I call, it's hard to tell here. They look almost gray in on the camera here, but they're actually like a powder blue, which I like because of my vision. Something that's done in a dark navy blue is really hard for me to see it. And if it's done in like a really light tan, again, I can't see it. So this powder blue works very well for me. This is my favorite pose, this guy here. I'm guessing he's the chef. And you can see how many of these, well, I'm not sure why we need so many of those. I would have liked to seen more of those, maybe a couple more of those. Do we need this many Captain Gallants and Cuffies? I don't know. There's only 2 of these guys with a binocular, and there's 2 guys running with the rifle in their right hand instead of their left. And this guy here, I think he's one of these guys, but he's broken off his base and his rifle was snapped off because this is the guy that Iggy stepped on when he was barefoot. And this really triggered an expensive course of events for Iggy. I stepped barefoot on this guy, and then I fell onto my bed, and it snapped my bed frame in half. I thought there was something wrong with my bed because it was sagging, and I kept rolling out of it, which in the morning I probably found useful, but at night not so much. And so I bought a new bed, and then when I took off the old one, I go, oh no, the bed frame was busted in half. So I had to buy a new bed frame. Now I got to admit, the new bed frame I have is pretty good. It's called a platform bed. I bought it at Walmart, and it's really sturdy. The bed I bought, I'm not so keen on. It's called a hybrid, and it's foam and springs, and it's starting to get lumpy. I don't know. We'll see. I might get an air mattress instead, but it was $340.
Yeah. Iggy, can you get on with the toy soldiers? We don't want to listen to your stories.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. You know how I get distracted. What was I going to show you? Oh, in 1956, let's move all this back. Hopefully, I don't step on another one. I can only afford to break one bed at a time. All right, let's refer to our uh, big toy box. This is made by Classic Toy Soldiers. I'm not sure if it's a definitive collection, but it's got most of the boys' toys in it. And I did mark the page, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Now, I don't know if this page over here was originally in black and white, but if it is originally in black and white, it looks like Sears didn't have much confidence in the Captain Gallant playset. So here's what the original looked like. And what you're getting is these figures here, which were originally 60 millimeter, but have been reduced to 25 millimeter. Now, I have bought these Arab accessories, and I bought palm trees, and I've purchased the fort accessories. The fort itself, I think, is crap. I look at it. The wall is like a garden wall. You see that? The figures are taller than the wall. Uh, the scale of the towers are such that, whoa, that got kind of blurry. The scale of the towers are such that you really couldn't put a figure up there. It just looks stupid. I don't like it. And what it is a repurposing of this medieval set over here. And I don't like this for the same, look how short the walls are. I mean, why bother laying siege to that? You could just jump over it. So I think Marx dropped the ball when they made this. And then when they made this out of that, I think they kind of stepped on it, so to speak, or stepped in it. I'm not sure how to phrase that. But here's the original Captain Gallant set. I only saw it in the 1956 pages, nothing in 55 and nothing in 1957. So apparently it didn't do very well, and that's possibly why it lasted 2 seasons. Okay. I wanted to call my brother and ask him if he ever watched that show when he was a boy. But my brother was mostly sports. He wasn't into stuff like that. He just liked watching baseball, and mostly baseball. All right, let's take a look at Airfix. I mean, I should ask him because maybe he did watch that show. My sister may have watched it too because they're almost the same age. All right, now here's the colorful Airfix box. And you'll notice that the French officer is very handsome. And the figures are wearing what appears to be light blue pants. But originally, the illustration shows them in red pants, which is what the regular French army would have worn. I guess you could say, c'est la pantalon rouge, or l'esprit du corps, c'est la pantalon rouge. Uh, Thank you, Jean Luc. That was very lovely. Um, Here's some figures what airfix look like. They don't show all of them, but the figures that I just showed you by Marx, they would go with this. So that's what that. I don't know what happened to his sample box. It looks like the back of it was ripped. It shows here a list of what you get. So I like you get rifleman kneeling, rifleman standing, rifleman crawling, rifleman pointing, rifleman standing, rifle above head, rifleman walking. So there it goes out of focus again. So that I have some of these in this original box, but none in this original box. It's funny, the first illustration over here, they get the uniform color correct, and then over here, it's incorrect. But this is a more exciting illustration. It's just the uniforms are wrong. Unless these are Luftwaffe troops, I don't know. But he doesn't have a parachutist helmet on, so I don't think so. It's just wrong. Okay, guys, this is Iggy saying thank you for getting Iggy with it. Let's do this to eliminate some of that shadow. And I want to say thank you for coming along once again. Again, these are Marx figures that have been reduced to 25 millimeter by a Classic Toy Soldier, and you get 25 of them for $9.95. And it looks like the assortment is somewhat random. And it is, in this case, it's missing two of the figures. They might come with the other ones. They might have done the other ones and just didn't include it with my assortment. I bought two assortments. Okay, guys, that's it for Iggy. I think next time I'm going to do what's coming up next. Maybe I'll do some 7-Year War Austrian troops in white, which I'm going to use as French in my French and Indian War scenario. And they are done by Armies in Plastic. So until next time,
Thank you once again for getting Iggy with it, and remember to watch Captain Gallant and the French Foreign Legion, only on ABC.
all right, you guys, thank you and have a good evening.